The Gionee Elife E8 is the flagship from Gionee, the Chinese smartphone company that has really been trying to make its foothold in the Indian market. They've done quite well in the tier 2, tier 3 cities with their entry level series of phones, but the top end flagships haven't really made a mark in India. We've got the Gionee Elife E8, which is their current flagship and was recently launched in India for a price point of almost 35,000 rupees. And we're going to be doing a quick hands-on and unboxing of this phone. Now this phone competes with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S6, and the competitors are really the top end devices from all other OEMs. So keep that in mind as we do a hands-on of this phone. Now let's take a look at the first hand. We'll take a look at the packaging itself. It's got a silhouette of the phone and Gionee branding up top. This is a really big box, and over on the right side you'll notice the Elife E8 branding. Moving over to the back, there's a sticker that has the basic specifications. The MRP is listed as 36,399, and going further you've still got some more specifications here. The left side of the box once again has the Elife E8 branding, and at the bottom you'll get the IMEI numbers. Now let's move into the interiors of the packaging and see what else is included in the box. As you'll notice, removing the packaging of this, the front cover of this box, is a bit of a task. But once you do that, up front is the Gionee Elife E8, which is an absolutely massive smartphone. With a 6-inch display, you'd expect it to be big, but this is quite a big phone. Let's put that aside as we'll come back to this shortly. Taking out the front tray, you'll notice that in typical Gionee fashion, there is a full range of accessories included in the box, and the first of them is a flip cover. It's made of soft touch material and looks quite nice enough, given that it color matches the color of the phone, which is gold. So you've got hard plastic at the back and a soft touch material up front. Remove the foam insert and you can just put the phone over here. Now it's got a contact point for NFC at the back, which means that NFC will work even if you put this cover on your device, and that's a nice touch indeed. Let's see what else is there in the box itself. You have a small packet which most likely includes your warranty cards and other documentation. Gionee's been nice enough to include a couple of NFC stickers, and you can place these around the house or maybe in your car to automate certain actions. There is a small booklet alongside, which is basically the user guide. You get the warranty card and the scratch card, which you would expect. There is also a microfiber cloth to help you clean out the screen, and it's a nice touch indeed. So with that aside, let's see what else is there. You get your standard earbud headphones and a full range of tips which would work better to see which one fits better in your ear. And once again, these are also color coded to the color of the phone, which is gold, and it's a very nice touch from Gionee. There is a standard micro USB cable and a charger as well. So the charger in particular is, given that this has a really big battery, you would expect it to be a nice high power charger, and you wouldn't be wrong. This is a 2 amp charger. We're not entirely sure if this phone supports quick charging, but nonetheless a 2 amp charger is a pretty decent charger in its own right. So now that we've seen what are the in-packaging contents of the Gionee Elife E8, it's time that we move over to the hardware of the phone itself. Now up front is an 8 megapixel front facing camera. There is a 6-inch 2K display on this device, and that really contributes to the bulk of the size of the phone. You get 3 capacitive buttons, and we feel that moving over to on-screen controls might have made this phone a little smaller. Let's move to the right hand side. You get a volume rocker, a power button, and an exceedingly rare camera button as well. Gionee has really talked about the camera credentials of this phone, and it makes sense to see a camera button here. There's nothing going on the left hand side. At the bottom is the micro USB charging port, while the top of the phone has a 3.5mm audio jack. So let's move over to the back of the device then. Given that this is a fairly camera centric phone from Gionee, you'll notice that this has a 24 megapixel camera at the back. It slightly protrudes out from the body of the phone itself, and it is paired with a dual LED flash. So this phone, the camera is capable of capturing 4K video, and you also get a full range of microphones up top. Gionee claims that these microphones can cancel out a lot of noise, and they'll help you get better video, better audio in the 4K video that you capture with this phone. Below the camera module is the fingerprint sensor. It's placed quite well given the dimensions of this device, and considering that I have a small hand, this is a 6-inch phone, the fingerprint sensor still fits, sits exactly where my finger lies, and that's very good design from Gionee. You also get a Gionee branding in the center and a speaker grill at the bottom. So now that we're done with the outer hardware walkthrough of the phone, let's boot up this device. If you've used any Gionee device before this, you would know that they really go with a custom interface layer, a custom ROM called Amigo UI, and the Gionee Elife E8 is no exception to this. It's Amigo UI 3.0 based on Android 5.1 Lollipop, and we don't really expect an upgrade to Android 6.0 anytime soon, given the Gionee is notoriously slow with their system updates, but we'll see. We'll have to be proven wrong on that. With that said, let's do a quick walkthrough of the internal specifications of this device. The Gionee Elife E8 is powered by a 2 GHz MediaTek Helio X10 processor paired with 3 GB of RAM. There's also 64 GB of storage built into this device that you can expand via the microSD card slot. The phone is a dual SIM device, and both SIMs support 4G. And on that note, I think it's best that we show you the rear of the device as well. Removing the back cover is a very hard task because the numerous number of clips used by Gionee here, but once you do, you'll get access to the SIM card slots and also the microSD card slot. And not just that, you can also expand the storage on this device by using a USB on the go drive, and that basically means that no matter what your storage requirements are, you should find this phone quite satisfactory. With that done, this is Amigo UI through and through. Gionee has taken some customer feedback and has toned down the number of applications on board, but still there are quite a few applications over here. The interface too takes a bit of learning, like the notification toggles are swiped up from the bottom, and well, the rest of the stuff is more or less the same. If you're used to Android, it's not going to be a huge learning curve, but there is still some learning involved. The settings menu too has shifted around a lot of stuff. Going over to the about section, you can see that this is based on Android 5.1, and let's move back and take a look at the amount of free storage on this device. So as you can see, this is a 64 GB device, of which about 10 GB has been used by the system, and overall you basically get about 52.2 GB free. And honestly, we're quite surprised that Gionee has managed to tone down the amount of bloat on this device to this degree, because they're quite notorious for giving you substantially minimal storage out of the storage built onto the device. This is quite impressive, to say the least. The basic interface layer is nice and smooth all the way through, but this is not something that we can really pass judgment on unless we really put it through its paces, and this is really just a hands-on video. For that, you'll have to wait on for a full review of the device. We've not talked about the battery life on this device. Now this has a 3500 mAh battery built into it, and as we showed you earlier, it comes with a 2 amp charger, which basically means you should be able to charge this phone pretty quickly. How long this phone lasts? Well, given that this is a 2K display and it is using a Helio X10 processor, which is a very high-end processor, we still feel that the 3500 mAh battery should be good enough for a full day of usage. Once again, this is something that we'll be talking about in our full review. For the moment, this was our hands-on and unboxing of the Gionee Elife E8, and if you have any questions about the phone, please do let us know in the comment section and we'll be talking about it in our review. This was Dhruv Bhutani from Fonearena.com. Thanks for watching.